Well, it is October 1st, 2022. I just got back from a run. Uh, Closed out the first 2/3 of my 1,000-mile run for the year. That began on April 2nd of this year, 2022, and will end on April 2nd of 2023. Coinciding with World Autism Awareness and Appreciation Day. I don't remember if that was I think that was just a day. I didn't decide. It just happened that way. But anyway, I just have kept going and started keeping a log and tracking my miles and adding up time, and everything's just kind of fallen into place the way it has. And it works. I like it well enough. I like having a goal, or at least some sort of structure and coordination, even though I mean, there are no rules except for the ones that I make up and then change, make little exceptions or, differences to allow for this or that, because I'm the only one paying attention, and, it doesn't matter, it's just up to me, and I have nothing to prove, and it's not for anything except for, myself and my own mental stability, mental health, sanity, things like that, physical fitness as a side bonus, I suppose. But I feel better about myself and the world, and myself in the world for doing this. So yeah, so I got up to 667 today, just a little while ago, as the sun was setting on a cool October 1st. And I still might put in some miles tomorrow to get a little bit of work into, or play into the remaining 333, which I have all the way until April 2nd to complete. So I've gotten the first 2/3 done in 6 months, and I have the final third in the last 6 months. So the winter is included in those months. So I won't be able. The weather will not be as hospitable and welcoming and accommodating. But still, I've given myself the best chance to complete the run without having to overwork, overtax, overworry myself. And so I think that's pretty cool. And I'm still working on the idea. I haven't finalized it, but I like the idea. About once I get down to get done the 1,000 miles, what then? What do I do? Do I just stop and put a mark in time and say, well, I completed that 1,000 and on whatever day, and then I'll just stop and go back to 0 and start another 1,000? Or I just keep going until April 2nd, and then, well, I ran this many miles in a year and then stop and go back to 0? Or do I just keep going? And my thought is, I'll just keep going. Well, what am I running for? What am I running towards? What's the next marker? And I thought about the moon for whatever reason. And I was like, well, I'll just run around the moon. Sure. And, well, the moon's pretty big. How big is the moon? Oh, well, diameter and circumference are different. And I'm thinking running around the moon, so I'm thinking circumference. And it's over, it's close to, I forget exactly, but it's close to 6,500 miles or something like that. So it's a bit, yeah. So as it is right now, I've run, in theory, 10% around the moon. And I don't know, that's cool. And it turns out, after I did a little bit of looking it up, that our moon, also named Luna, is the 5th largest moon in our solar system that we know about. And there's over 200 moons in our solar system belonging to the planets. And ours is the 5th largest. So it's like, well, if I want to set the next target as being, the moon, our moon, well, there's all these other smaller moons along the way. So I could have those as minor moonstones, moon markers, milestones, mile markers, and just for fun, And so that's what I'm kind of thinking about doing. But first things first is the 1,000 miles. And yeah, so I'm having fun with it. And on another side note, which is parallel or tangential, but equally significant and relevant in my mental spaces, is somebody I know is running a marathon, a 26.2 mile marathon tomorrow. And I was looking it up about what do you say to encourage or support or motivate or somebody that's running a marathon. And I couldn't think of anything, but I've already done and written what I wrote, and it's like, yeah, well, I hope that's okay, because a lot of this, it's I'm just winging it, and because I was thinking to myself, I don't really have that much emotional intelligence or experience about this phenomenon or relationship, which is kind of a writing relationship. I like to think of it as an affectionate, intellectual relationship. I do not know how it is perceived and regarded on the other side. Like, what the heck do they even think? And it's like, I think they're mostly just, I really don't know. So they treat me with respect, and I guess. So, but anyway, it is what it is, and I don't know what it is. But I'm just kind of doing whatever it is I do without understanding. And I haven't been cut off or told to leave or yelled at. Not that I've noticed. Maybe they have, and I just wasn't paying attention, which is also possible. But they're running a marathon tomorrow, and they started have a charity for it, and they've been raising money for like the past 6 months, and it finally is the day. It's already the day where they are. It's still the first here, and yeah, so I just can't imagine. And while I was looking up words of support for marathon runners, I was looking up like other similar or related questions, and because I've been thinking about it myself, it's like, could I run a marathon? Because I ran a half marathon distance-wise last year, and this year I've run that distance twice. Once at the beginning of August, and then once again at the beginning of September, or somewhere about that. And according to what I read, if you can run 13.1 miles, and you can run an average of 50 miles in a week for 4 months or something, then you're pretty much right there to train to run a marathon. And it's like, okay, well, that's cool. I guess I'm in good enough shape to train for a marathon. Now, actually running a marathon and training for a marathon are two different things. But that's just kind of encouraging, because that'd be something I'd like to do. And so I'm going to do that. Yeah. So I don't know about running one with other people, because that would hurt my chances of being able to actually do it, because there would just be, additional stress and distraction. I don't give myself credit for being able to do that very well. I'd just be too focused on other things and not being able to zone and trance and hypnotize myself the way I try to do, where the miles just happen. So anyway, so that's kind of cool. Not this year, that's for sure, but maybe next year. So we'll see. It's exciting, running a marathon. It's like, where would I run it? Would I just run circles around town? Because that's how I do my half marathons. I get to the end of my usual route and I just keep going. And it's like, well, where do I go next? So I just end up running in small little circles. And as it gets towards the end of my run, I'm closing in on the last 11th mile, 12th mile, the circle closes. So when I get done, I'm close to home, so I don't have to walk. And I haven't pushed myself beyond running, 13.1. This last one, I was like, I felt like I could go another mile or two, and I was like, I don't want to risk it, because my coordination and my poise and my posture starts to falter. So, and I don't want to risk injury. So, anyway, I guess that's all I got. I didn't have much to start with, just wanted to give an appreciation video or visibility video, saying hi video, and happy marathon run. I hope it's everything that you wish it to be, and I hope it goes well, and have fun.